Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a fun little project for you. Let me just get my charger cord out of the way there. I am going to be working on this tag today. Junk Journal January is over, and so I think for the month of February on Tuesdays, I am going to focus on doing kind of a mixed media tag. So I have some newsprint down. This is my favorite drop paper to use whenever I'm doing mixed media. If you've been around a while, you know that mixed media is like a love of mine. I started doing mixed media long before I ever started Bible journaling. And the last couple of months, I have been really reflecting on things that just, I'm kind of miss doing. Art journaling and mixed media are one of those things that I definitely want to do more of. Used to do them all the time. And I want to get back into that. So I'm going to be doing just a couple little fun mixed media techniques on some tags throughout the month of February. So the first thing that you saw me do there is I took some stickers, just some alpha stickers from By the Well for God. These are ones from previous kits that I kind of had used some of the sticker sheet up, and I'm just applying those over this tag. And now I'm coming in with a brayer and some gesso and doing a light coat over that. And I will dry that, and then I'll put another thin coat of this gesso over the top. I'm not necessarily trying to cover everything, but I want this to kind of just have the texture of those letters. So you can see I put them upside down and backwards and however which way, just for some additional texture in the background. A lot, you can hardly kind of see them. It's just kind of one of those background texture things. It's just a fun way. And I was just had this in my mind that I wanted to try and see how it would work. Those particular stickers, and so I wanted to try that. And I'm also using this dots and dashes stencil from By the Well. This is one of my favorite stencils of all time. I think that they have done, and some light and fluffy modeling paste from the Crafter's Workshop. And I dried that really well. I cleaned off my stencil and everything, and now I'm going to apply some acrylic inks. So some of these are Liquitex, some of them are Amsterdam, some of them are Artist Loft. They're all different brands. This first color that I'm coming in with is actually an Amsterdam sky blue. Light is the name of it. And so this is an acrylic ink. So it reacts with water. It will react with the other colors, but then once it's dry, it's going to be permanent. So the next color I'm coming in with is the cerulean blue. This was a Liquitex color, and I'm just adding a little bit of color, trying to get it to blend around, trying to get it to kind of go down those nooks and crannies from all of that texture paste that's on there. And then I added ultramarine blue. This is an Artist Loft color. And as you can see, it's very bright. So I'm just kind of, adding water, letting it kind of do its thing, mix around, change some of the shades a little bit. And then I'm just letting that go on my drop paper. I will end up using this drop paper as collage fodder later on. And so just having this paper out actually just makes me happy, because it just brings me back to all of the mixed media. And that is just a love of mine. So you will probably be seeing this more, maybe some art journaling things. Let me know if you'd like to see more of that. That's, like I said, something that I have really loved to do, and just kind of, put on the back burner, I guess, for a little while. Kind of incorporate it a little bit as I can in some of my Bible journaling, but some of these things are obviously very hard to do in a Bible. There's a lot of wet media and that kind of stuff, and so I tend to do these outside of my Bible. But anyway, I let all that dry. Actually dried that with my heat tool there. And then I needed to brighten that back up because that ultramarine blue really kind of took over. I had a little bit too much of it, which is not a problem because you can layer these inks because it's basically acrylic paint. I mean, it's ink, but it kind of does the same thing. So one of the things I decided to do was bring back in a little bit of white. So I pulled out my white gesso and my brayer again, and I'm just going to hit the high points of this stencil just to keep everything nice and bright back there. And I really love how that turned out. You can kind of see the letters in the background here. I guess it's kind of hard to see. It's easier in person, but you can see it because the inks and stuff still kind of settle and pool around those letters just like they do around the texture paste. So this color that I'm adding here is just gray. This is an Artist Loft color, and just plain old gray, and I love it. It's like kind of warmer gray, so it's really pretty. And you can kind of see here, I'm trying to get this around some of those letter stickers in the background, just so that the color will kind of settle and pool there and really help define it, just for a little bit more texture in the background. But again, I'm also going to hit this with some water and let it, run around and do its thing. And then I will let all of that dry. And I am kind of like tapping it off just a little bit here and there. And then I really felt like I needed some contrast. So I pulled it in this Posca paint pen in kind of a salmon-y peach color. And I just kind of pressed the marker down so that I could get a pool of it. And then I added some of that. I just used a fan brush. Sorry for my arm there. I should have edited that out. Sorry. Anyway, so I just added a pool of that. I'm using a fan brush to just add some little flecks of this in the background. You'll see I'm doing the same thing with this. Is just a water soluble art crayon. Doing this with a lighter shade of pink. This one didn't actually show up enough, which I was kind of afraid would be the case because it's just not as opaque of a color as that paint pen. And then I decided to come back in with some white as well. I like using a fan brush for all of my splattering. I just feel like it gives a good mix of little tiny sprinkles and also some bigger dots. And now I'm coming in and just trying to decide what I'm going to do for my focal point. I pulled in a bunch of different pieces here from Tim Holtz, different colors of the kind of blues and that kind of salmon-y color. I want everything to be cohesive. I felt like that butterfly up at the top was sort of getting lost. And so you'll see me actually playing with this quite a bit. In the future, I may just do some backgrounds and not worry about having a completed tag. But then I found this butterfly from 49 and Market, which has those kind of salmon-y colors in it, like pinks in it. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but they're just kind of a lighter version of these pinks and stuff that I have in the background. So I am going to just work on my little layering cluster here, just deciding however I want everything. I have different shades of blue in here, different shades of pink. And then I'm going to go around this tag and just kind of give this a little bit of a more finished look by adding some archival ink. I'm using the Black Soot archival ink. And then I'm going to go back through with some black gesso now that I watered down, and I'm just doing some little splatters with that just to kind of bring some black to the background because there's so much black in these ephemera pieces. I'm just trying to pull those two together. And so now I'm just inking around all of the pieces. I'm using that same archival black, and then I'm using some, this is Helmar 450 quick dry glue, and it's kind of a really thick glue, and I'm using that because I have all of that texture paste on the background. I want to make sure that my pieces will stick down, at least that first one. Everything else is kind of glued to that. So this is how it ends up looking. I lost some of the footage there. I do apologize, but you can kind of see I added some black Stabilo pencil around the outside, and it kind of pooled around some of those letters in a really cool way. It's still kind of hard to see on camera, but you can actually see more of the definition of those letters in person. But this is how this tag ended up for this week. So if you liked this video, if you have suggestions for future Tag Tuesdays, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, join my Facebook group, and until next time, bye.